In this video, I'm going to share with you my GMAT strategies that helped me go from 650 to 760 plus within a span of 2 months. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Gyaan. My name is Somi. I'm an IIT Delhi and ISB Hyderabad grad, and on this channel I share my experiences, my journey. I get some of my friends to share their experiences so that it can help some of you in your journeys as well. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, how to prepare for GMAT? Now this is one question that I've got quite frequently from my mentees, from all of you on some of my MBA related videos as well. And honestly, the only reason that I've pushed it out so much is because I always thought that GMAT is just an exam, right? Practice is all you have to do. But then I sat back and I was just reflecting on my own GMAT journey, and I realized that there are some strategies which you can apply to get better at it over time. And that's exactly the point of this video. Okay, so I'm going to divide this video into 3 key sections. Section number 1 is going to be about GMAT, different sections, what are the questions that you get, etc. Section number 2 is the most meaty part, where I'm going to share my strategies and some key preparation tips. How do you approach the exam step by step? And in section number 3, I'm going to share with you all the resources that I used, some of the resources that are available in the market that you can consider investing in. Okay, so shuru karte hain. GMAT is a standardized exam, and if you are applying for any of the international business schools and also some of the Indian business schools, you will have to give GMAT. GMAT scores you on a scale of 800, and anything above 700 is considered to be a decent score, but some of the top business schools will have an average score which is even higher than that, which is about 720, 730 as well. Essentially, exam ke 4 parts hote hain. There are 4 key sections within the exam. One is analytical writing, where you will be asked to write some essays, and honestly, it is just to see if you are fluent with your English language or not, and whatever essays you are going to submit as a part of your MBA application, if you have written them yourself or not. That's the only thing that it tests, okay? So over here, you just have to qualify. Then there's an integrated reasoning section, which is sort of like data interpretation, where you will be shown charts and graphs, and you have to infer something from those based on the questions and answer. Now, integrated reasoning is not included usually in your score of out of 100, which is why it's an independent section. And while it is important to score well over there, it's not going to count directly towards your overall score. What are the 2 sections that are going to contribute to your score out of 100? One is the quant section, where they ask you basic elementary level mathematics, high school level mathematics, not super fancy concepts or anything. And 2 is verbal, where they'll be asking you anything about English, grammar, reading style, comprehension, etc. So as you can imagine, quant and verbal are the 2 most important sections that you should be spending most of your time on. Moving to section number 2, which is all about the preparation strategies that I had adopted and ones that I will recommend for you to do as well. सबसे पहले तो ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है that GMAT is more or less a self-study kind of an exam, because the concepts that they ask you, right, they're not very high funda. You don't need any external tutoring or external coaching classes to do well in GMAT. You get better at it only by self-study and by, practicing to get better at it. That's the only way. So my first recommendation to you would be to not invest in coaching classes, which will end up wasting a lot of your time. You will probably travel to the coaching class, you will attend the coaching class, and the return that you will get is going to be very, very less compared to if you spend that amount of time in self-studying and giving more mock papers to improve your performance. So thoda step by step chalte hain. Let's see step by step what are some of the things that you should do. Number 1, the first thing that you should do right after you have started preparing is to give one mock exam. You can choose this mock exam from anywhere. GMAT official website also has 2 mock exams which are absolutely free for you to take. So even before you start preparing, I want you to take this one mock exam just so you can analyze how you performed in that exam and see and identify what are your strengths and development areas. Which are the sections which you could do seamlessly, which you didn't even feel like they were too difficult, and which are some of the sections where you struggled? Or maybe there were certain sections where you thought you are doing quite well, but when the results came out, you saw that your performance was not really up to the mark. So identifying your strengths and weaknesses is very, very important, and that's step number 1. Step number 2 is, of course, to analyze the paper that you gave and identify the strengths and weaknesses, and accordingly create a study plan for yourself. I would recommend spend more time in your study plan on your development areas, and then wherever it is your strengths, you definitely have to provide some self-study time, but you get better and better at your strengths just by practicing as well. So you can focus a little less there. So step number 2, make a study plan. And now moving to step number 3, now this is where your actual preparation starts. First thing, what I would recommend you to do, and that's something that I did as well, is pick up any concept book. It could be the official guide, it could be one of the GMAT books, one of the many GMAT books that are available in the market. Pick up one for quant, one for verbal, and start going through the concepts. Har ek book mein, there's going to be a huge section which is just based on concepts, and then following that, there's going to be a bunch of practice questions that will be there in that book as well. So for the first 15-20 days, spend some time going through the books for both quant and verbal, understanding and assimilating and digesting all the information and the concepts, and at the same time, keep going through the practice questions that they have in those books as well. You don't need to be super time framed about it, but the idea is just to solve those questions and see for yourself whether you are able to understand those concepts or not. If not, then go back and revise those concepts, try to understand them better. So this was your first 15-20 days. Now moving to step number 4, which is the next 15-20 days. Pick up one more book, different from the one that you used in your step 3, just so you can cover all grounds. Because sometimes what happens is one book will miss out a few things, and it's always good to sort of split your eggs between different baskets. So pick up one more book, go through same number of concepts again, and go through the practice papers again. Now, in this point of time, start giving a few mock papers as well. That's the key difference between step 3 and step 4. Every week or so, maybe you can give 1 or 2 mock papers just to see that whatever you are learning, how much ever time you are spending in those understanding those concepts, are you even able to apply to the mock papers or not? And that is a good way to sort of ease yourself into giving some of those mock papers. So whenever you are giving the mock papers, keep it time bound exactly in a GMAT kind of a scenario. That's very important. And needless to say, whenever you are giving these mock papers, keep analyzing them. See if you are improving in some of your development areas. See if you have to spend time on some of the other areas. Just modify your study plan accordingly. Now coming to the last phase, which is step number 5, and this is the last 15-20 days. This is where you will likely see your most of your improvement in your score coming from. Dedicate these 2 to 3 weeks just to practice mock papers and analyze them, and read only the concepts where you feel like you are still not doing good enough. Over here, I will emphasize that you give one practice paper every single day. Don't miss even one single day. Right from the start of this phase up to maybe 1 or 2 days before the exam, give one paper every day. This will make you go into the rhythm of things. This will give you a lot of practice, and this will just prepare you for the D-Day, which is why I think this phase is so important. At the end of the day, GMAT is all about practicing. So मुझे याद है when I had given my first GMAT mock paper, even before starting the exam, I had a score of 650 and I was pretty disappointed because मैंने हमेशा यही सुना था मेरे friend से कि GMAT तो आसान exam है, you will nail it just like that. And I had got 650 and I was like, am I not good enough? Will I not be able to do good enough in GMAT? But then I followed these strategies, and towards the end, like in the last 5-7 days, whatever exams I was giving, I was scoring in the range of 750 to 780, okay? And the actual score I got was pretty much in line with this period of time, which was 760. So you can take this as a cue that wherever you are in the last 5-7 days, that is most likely going to be the score that you will get on your actual GMAT as well. तो थोड़ा देख लो कि if you are reaching your target score already or not. If not, then maybe you can try pushing your exam date maybe and focus a little more, a few more days on doing a few more practice papers till you reach a point where you feel comfortable. So as you can see, all I'm trying to say is GMAT is all about practice and being regular. The 2 months or 3 months or 4 months in your case, how many ever months you want to dedicate to your GMAT preparation, it's very important to keep doing something or the other every single day without a break. I know a lot of you guys will be working as well. So make a schedule, maybe in the early mornings, maybe 1 or 2 hours you can dedicate. What I would do, especially during the time when I was giving one mock paper every day, was I had told my manager that I am not going to come to office before 10, 10:30, 11, okay? And every morning I had set out that 2-3 hours of time where I would sit down, give a paper, and then just jaldi se get ready and get to work. Find out your pockets of time that work best for you and make the most use of that time. Okay, with that, moving to section number 3, where I share some key resources with you. Number 1 are the free resources. So when you sign up for GMAT gives you an official guide. I think 2 official guides. One is for English and one is for Quant. And alongside, it gives you 2 mock papers. These are absolutely free and I think they come as a package as soon as you sign up for your GMAT exam. The official guides explain the concepts to you, explain the verbal and quant concepts to you, and I think they are closest, the practice papers that you will have over there are closest to what appears in the final exam. So definitely go through that official guide. If you remember, I had told you to start with one book. I had started with the official guide and it was easy for me and very fast for me to flip through it because the concepts were okay-ish. They were not super difficult or anything. And the second book that I had picked up was Manhattan. So now moving to the paid resources. The paid resources that I had invested in was a Manhattan book and a few Kaplan books as well. So these are, I think, the 2 bigger publishers who create GMAT related books. And while I had bought my Manhattan books, I had a few Kaplan books from my friends. And when I had compared the content, honestly, I found the Manhattan books to be much better, very structured, very to the point. And if I have to recommend you to invest in one of these 2, I would say go for Manhattan. And then the last thing that you want to invest in are mock tests. Don't have to invest in any coaching classes, nothing, but investing in mock tests is very, very important. In fact, if you buy the Manhattan book, as a part of the book, they give you, I think, 4 or 5 free mock tests as well. So make use of that. Uske baad bhi, if you feel like you need more practice, then invest in some additional mock tests from, there are a lot of other mock tests, GMAT mock test providers on the internet these days. So do some research and invest in them. They are good investments for your GMAT exam. Yeah, so that's how you prepare for GMAT, and these are the things which had helped me as well. On the D day, make sure that you are calm. Book your time slot in a time where you think you will be most fresh. For a lot of people, it's early in the morning. For a lot of people, it's probably in the afternoon. And for a lot of people, it could be in the evening. And keep that day free. I see a lot of my mentees who go to office that day and then from there, they'll go to the center. I would strongly recommend to take that day leave. Keep a calm mind. Uske ek din pehle, don't stress yourself too much. I think you are doing good enough already, so don't stress कि last का एक paper दे देती हूँ, last का एक बार revise कर लेती हूँ. थोड़े बहुत जो concepts तुम्हें नहीं आते या तुम्हें बहुत ही discomfort लगता है, just keep revising them and basically calm yourself. That's all that I wanted to share in this video. If you have any further doubts, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, if you found this useful, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free for you. And I'm on a mission to reach 100K subscribers this year. I would really genuinely appreciate your help if you subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to see you in the next video with another such interesting video. Till then, bye.